And good evening to the Raleigh Municipal Lighting Plant Board of Commissioners meeting for March 16th, 2016. The time being 7 p.m., I call the meeting to order. The first agenda item is citizens' query from 7 to 7:10 p.m. Item number 2 on the agenda is review and accept minutes from previous meeting. Okay, I did read them myself and didn't see any issues at all. So,
Give you a motion on?
I'll accept the motion.
Seconded.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Again.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 3 on the agenda, review 2015 DPU report.
I had forwarded the DPU report to you in an email as a PDF. I didn't know, just for you to review, because I don't think you want to go through the whole thing during the meeting. It might take quite a while, so I was hoping you had a chance to review it prior to the meeting. And
I did look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, and things look fine. What was, if you could maybe tell me what, I didn't bother to figure out the percentage, but what percentage was it for income?
The percentage for income,
Yeah.
as far as above rates, hang on. Is that what you did? The, I'm
Yeah,
not
the
following you, I'm sorry.
Percentage of profit,
Oh, percentage of profit, okay. Compared to the expenses.
exactly.
Yep. I believe that's on page, you know what, I don't know what page that's on. Is that on a is that on one page, or is that?
Typically, you have to take two figures and
Yeah, okay,
calculate it.
all right. So that'd be
But
page 27 then. 'Cause that's what the revenue expenses is. So the profit, the revenues for the year was $6,481,461. So 60. Revenues and expenses. Expense, total expenses. Just give me a second.
Sure, take two if you need them.
Probably need 3 or 4.
Okay.
6100. Doesn't seem right. 95?
Well, that would be what, about 5%?
Oh, it's right on, no. I'm looking for it. It's page 42. Ratio of operating expenses to operating revenues, 98.9%. Right on page 42.
Okay. So that, what's that? It's almost 99, 1%?
Yeah. We made a little bit more money last year.
Yeah, because, well, we knew we had some issues with the purchase power.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good that we didn't lose anything, but
Yeah,
it's typically, the state requires, used to anyway, 8% max.
8% maximum
Yeah.
revenue. Yeah,
And we try to, or at least I try to maintain about 4,
yep.
hit it right in the middle. That's good.
Oh, no, it's very good. And it's mostly because last year we kept the rates a little bit on the higher side to make the money back from the previous year's loss.
Yeah.
And we did that. So, and then we had the this year. We had in April. We had no. That was it. I'm sorry. That was last year, April. We had the rate change in April of last year. So,
Well, that's good. I mean, it tells us that we're right on the money with those rates.
mm-hmm. Yep.
What's the percentage again? I didn't hear.
It's approximately 1%,
1%.
Yeah.
Okay.
but 1.1. I
Yeah.
won't argue with you on the 0.1.
No, won't either.
Okay. So, any other comments on the report?
There was a few things that I had changed. For one thing, that it was on the front page was the DTE instead of the DPU, but they have changed their name a couple of times, so it's not.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
that they even keep making us report to them around the way they bounce around.
no comment on that one. But no, but everything else looks fine in the report. I didn't have any other questions.
Good,
No.
good.
I will put, if you want, I'll put this, once it's signed, I'll put it on the website as a PDF.
Okay.
It'll be kind of hard to download only because it's such a,
It's a long
long
report.
file.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I didn't really push copy.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to make a lot of copies for tonight either,
Right.
because it's a lot.
Yeah.
So if you want, I'll just give you the signature page. It'll be easier than passing the whole document
That'll
around.
work. So, we'll entertain a motion to accept the.
Give me that
report.
motion.
Motion made.
Seconded.
Motion made and seconded to accept the Department of Public Utilities report for fiscal year 2015.
And the DPU does not make us file a paper copy anymore.
Oh, very good.
It's electronic copy now.
Okay. So, let's see. 15. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Did I say that?
No.
No. Okay, I'm gonna say it now. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carried. And we'll give you some room up top, Dan, to sign it at the very top. How's that?
Mhm.
Anyway.
Right underneath mine is.
I will forward you a copy in an email of the signed report.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want a paper copy, let me know, and I'll print a paper copy for you as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You want a paper copy as
Sure,
well?
yeah.
Okay.
Then when I get bored, I can sit down and read it. Okay, being 7:10, citizens' query is over. Next agenda item is number 4, update on Rowley Generation Project.
We're making progress. We're negotiating the PPA agreement with legal, with Tangent Energy. We're in the process of doing that. I talked to legal today. But
Okay.
he should have something to us probably by Friday or Monday.
Oh, wow.
Either Friday this week or Monday next week. It's it's something fairly new that, being the shared savings program, it's something fairly new that we're gonna have to negotiate. So it's gonna take a little bit extra time to work out all the fine details in the PPA agreement between us and Tangent. Um, from what legal said, it's going to be not a lengthy document, but a kind of a confusing document. Only because, like I said, it's a one of a kind thing. It hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at it as soon as I get it, and I'll have an update for the board
Okay.
when we're finished doing with that. Also, we had a meeting with Tangent, myself and Mark Bixby, at the substation, kind of a kickoff kind of meeting to meet with Tangent and their basically subcontractors for the generation project. And they wanted to kind of get an overview of the substation, where the unit might be placed, talk about gas supply, how close the gas supply is. So we had a meeting down at the sub and talked about that. More than likely, the unit will be located in the back, if you're looking at the substation, in the back right corner of the sub,
Okay, behind the building.
behind the
Control-
building.
Control building?
Yeah,
There is one conduit that runs out behind there and comes back out around behind the,
we should be behind everything, right against the fence on the back side.
okay.
The unit itself is 8 feet by 40 or 42 feet. So it's not gonna
Come out
protrude
the
into the
yard
substation
very
very much.
Yeah,
It's only 8 feet deep. It is long, but I mean, we have room in the back corner there.
yeah, that's kind of empty area.
So it's 8 feet high by 40 foot.
It's 8 feet wide
8
by
feet
40
wide.
feet long, yeah. Basically the size of a tractor trailer box
Okay.
is basically the size of it. And that includes, the unit itself is totally inclusive, includes the switch gear, includes, it generates at 13.2, so there's no step-up transformers or anything like that, so it'll tie directly into the substation.
Great.
Oh, very good.
The switch gear is located inside the housing, so it's basically just run an underground primary from the end of the buswork into the unit and just tie it in. It seems fairly simple, but it's not. But it seems fairly simple.
Yeah. What would be
Yeah.
the time frame again for?
Depending on how we make out with the PPA negotiations, that itself is probably going to take 4 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
Ordering the unit, they never really gave me a firm timeline yet. He was working on that when I talked to him at the meeting, so I should have that fairly soon. Because from what I understand, they were talking about ordering the unit already. So I think they're like 4 to 6 months out. The units themselves are. But as far as I know, he's not approached any of the town boards or anything like that.
Okay.
Good.
I don't know if there'd be too much of an issue with the town boards.
There's maybe the zoning board, only,
Yeah, they really don't have much say. I know we started to do that, we started to put it together, and we were gonna build a station out there. I went to the planning board, and they told me, just go ahead and do it. I said, well, I'm really not a frontage parcel of land, doesn't have frontage on the street. Oh, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it. Well, when I went back again to get it taken care of, they shot me down. I had to hire an engineer and draw up the plan, a site plan, and put the whole thing together. But because it's municipal and because it's power, they can't deny it. And I was getting ready to appeal it to the DEP,
yeah, okay.
because you can do that. It's even the zoning laws don't keep you out.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good, that means you won't have any problems when it goes.
Shouldn't have. I mean,
Right.
it would be nice to talk to them, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you're probably going to want to hit conservation too, because they may need with that little stream that's to the south of that. They may want you to put up some barriers and
yeah,
stuff like that, but it shouldn't be a big issue.
No, and that's another reason to locate it is in the far back corner, is it
Exactly.
stays away from that
Yeah.
buffer zone.
The buffer zone and the oil spill tank.
Mm-hmm.
That's on that other end.
Yep.
So,
I will keep you updated as far as our progress, where we're at with the project. Once it gets started, it should move fairly quickly.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only other underground stuff you got there is beside the pipes going out of the station, the lines going out of the station is the grounding grid.
Mm-hmm.
And there should be a plan for that somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a plan for that.
Yeah.
I mean, another reason why we wanted to locate it in the back right corner is feeder 2 and 4, which are off of transformer 2 in the backside. Those are the heaviest loaded circuits in the sub, and we wanted to make sure that the generator was located on the 2 most heaviest loaded circuits. That way,
Yeah.
no matter what condition we're in, that generator will be able to run and not backfeed into the grid. That's one of the major,
Okay.
the major concerns.
Yeah.
Is we don't want to backfeed into the grid
No.
ever.
No. That's absolutely right.
Actually, the relays in the substation would trip, and then we would go offline before that happened. So
Yeah, they wouldn't want it. They wouldn't allow us to do it anyway.
no,
Well, it sounds like we're making progress. That's
We are.
great.
we are still working through a lot of different iterations as far as the capacity markets and things like that. But talking to different folks and talking to a lawyer in Washington D.C. I don't know if you know him, John Coyle.
I don't know John, but is he with Dan, the fellow that was down there before?
Maybe, because Coyle is Duncan and Allen.
Duncan and Allen.
Yes, Duncan and Allen.
I think it was Allen.
Okay.
Whoever was it was his group,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a number of years ago. We were dealing with transmission issues and everything else, and he came up here and he actually came to my office and interviewed me, and he gave me what he wanted, and I put a whole list together of all the customers and what they used and what they're doing and the whole thing. And some of the other systems did it. One of them was Taunton. And when he went down to Taunton, the manager down there at the time said, "What the heck are you going to Raleigh for? They don't do anything. They're too small." I said, "Well, he's right. We were one of the smallest ones."
Yeah. Yeah.
And he says to him, he said, "Look, that's the one that's going to help me out the most." Because whatever he was trying to figure out, it was what we were doing. And he says, this'll get us through this thing, because those guys, that's exactly what we're arguing about,
Right.
what they're doing.
Yep.
So I felt pretty good about that.
Cool. But he is. I have been talking to him and other people about. We're trying to work through that whole forward capacity market thing and the transmission thing. So
Yeah.
to make sure that we're going to get everything that we need and want to get out of that generator.
Yeah. And it might, this issue that I was just talking about might even been Niagara Mohawk. Niagara Falls.
Yeah. Okay. Then the first NIPA agreement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, because they base that on the residential and the commercial customers.
Yeah. So, worked out very well.
Mm-hmm. It still is today.
Yes. Wish we could get more.
Yep. Oh, I know.
Actually, I went down there and I was in that substation where that comes out of. I went to Niagara Falls. It is huge. And I just went down and we actually went into the generating plant, went for a tour. And I said to the guy there, I says, "I'm from a utility out in Massachusetts. I said, we get your power." I said, "Do you mind if I take a look at the substation?" He said, "No, go ahead." So I said, "Okay." So I get in my car and go riding around and riding all around the substation, looking around, taking pictures. You get shot today.
Today you would not be
Oh, yeah.
able to do that. No.
You really
No.
would.
No.
Hopefully it's security be at the house.
So, I mean, it was very interesting. It really was. It was fun to go through there. All right, so.
I will keep you informed on any progress that we make.
Okay, sounds good. So you want to go to the update of the APPA legislative rally?
Yeah. This is the things that were handed out at the rally. the first page, or the first 2 pages, front and back, is what NEPA has put together with the NEPA Legislative Committee. And it's basically what we call the leave behind. When we visited the offices, this first page is the major leave behind that we want to leave with them,
Leave with them, yeah.
so that they have something to refer to as far as what we talk to them about.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times, or actually most of the time, we met with staffers instead of the congressman. And the staffers, sometimes that's their area of expertise, and sometimes it's not. So the leave behind really helps with them understand what the issues are. And then the next 3 are just graphs of costs as far as the average monthly New England energy cost, the transmission costs in KW month, and the last one is the forward capacity market, and then the comparison of New England electric prices, all sectors. The last one is the most interesting, I think, the colorful one. It basically shows you where New England's average retail price, and that's dollars per megawatt hour, compared to other regions of the country. As you can see, where the red bar, the South Atlantic average is the green bar. The U.S. average retail price is the blue bar. So you can see, I mean, we are heads and tails above everybody else by a large margin. And this I think impresses them the most, because when they see this, they think of their constituents and they say, they're going to be leaving this part of the country to go elsewhere for power because it costs them well above anywhere else in the country.
You know, when you look at that final bottom line there, 2003 New England % above national average. And it's 40%.
40% above the national average.
Wow.
Well, I mean, we try to impress, and we did, you know, when we go, there's usually 8 of us in a meeting, and we each have our own, there's a lead, they talk, they introduce everybody, and then everybody kind of, we have a topic that we just, you know, especially want to cover. And one of the ones was forward capacity, market reform, and that was number 1. And the other one that we were covering mostly was number 4, the electric transmission rates. And that, you know, myself and the manager from Groveland, the manager from Middleton, we would kind of team up and then talk about those 2 things, and then another person would talk about one of the other things. You know, those are the things that are very critical to basically the way we do business.
Right.
The forward capacity market reform is just basically, in a nutshell, is it's gone from a $1 billion capacity market to a $4 billion capacity market, which is totally crazy in a matter of 3 years, and then it's dropped again to $3 billion. It's dropped $1 billion in 1 year, which I believe it was $20 per month for the average ratepayer, just for the capacity. That doesn't include the kilowatt hours, doesn't include the demand charge, doesn't include distribution charges, none of that. Just for capacity was like an extra $20 a month on the average customer's bill. It's ridiculous. So I mean, that's what we're trying to press upon them, you know, the legislators, just for them to see that and understand where we're coming from and how much this is costing the ratepayers of the New England states.
Yeah, and it's because we are municipal.
We don't have any recourse but to basically take this. This is basically a pass through. It's coming from the ISO to us, and we have no choice but to pass through the customer. We can't absorb that.
Right. Yeah, with 1% earnings. Wow.
And it went fairly well this year. I mean, we had good some good visits. I want to think that. Oh, and Warren's office has she was actually there. She wants to have a meeting back either in the district or another meeting, a follow-up meeting, either back in Washington or back here at home, just to kind of follow up on the issues that we talked about. Only because she seemed very enthusiastic about hearing what we had to say, understanding what we had to say. So
Very good.
there may be a follow-up meeting, which would be awesome. Which would be
Yeah,
great.
it
Yeah.
would be, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, particularly because she represents this area,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to handle and take it back to Washington and tell them, explain to them what's going on.
Yeah, it seems like there was, from someone I talked to who is in New Hampshire, they seem to have gotten the same kind of, response from that contingent as well. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can really push our point home with, and have them, talk about it at Washington, and, these people really, need to do something.
Right. Wow.
So I thought it was a very worthwhile trip.
Good.
Yeah, I think they always are, Dan, they really are, because we need to be able to talk to those people
Mhm.
and explain to them, because they're just sitting there listening to whatever propaganda and somebody else is pushing.
Well, it's not funny, but we go in and we do our talks, and we know that either ISO is either a week behind us, 2 weeks behind us. They can go in and do the same thing.
Yep.
So they go in and they give their spiel about what their problems are. So they're hearing it from both sides. So it's a matter of maybe just reinforcing the issues.
Yep.
And I'm sure they hear it from their constituents about how much power costs in their local districts. So
Mm. Yep. Okay.
and the weather was really nice.
Cherry blossoms over it, right?
They weren't when we were there, no, but they said they were going to be out by the end of March, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it, just happened to see the White House today, they were blooming
Oh, was it? Yeah.
on TV. Wow.
Okay. So what do you think?
I have nothing else.
We'll give you a motion to adjourn. There's nothing else.
I guess we can.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by
Yeah,
saying
who's all
aye.
set?
Aye, opposed. Motion carried. We are adjourned.